Strong language is used in this video and on this channel. You have been warned.
Welcome back, viewers, and welcome back to Captain of Industry. When we wrapped up last time, we had basically just kind of saved ourselves from certain disaster, where we have diesel production finally up and running. So we're finally making our own diesel fuel, and we can deal with the ridiculously long transit time in between our colony and our actual production point. So, what? Oh, right, because I took the trucks away from my mine. So now that we actually have access to the iron ore that's in this mountain here, and the diesel that's in this diesel deposit that you can see once the resources are turned on, we can finally start progressing a little bit with some of these quests. However, before we can do that, we need to actually build up a reasonable amount of construction parts. What I want to do is I want to remember, well, I guess first, before we build anything else, we need to build this liquid dump here so that we can actually get rid of the wastewater that we're generating producing diesel. Because without that, the building is bound up and nothing happens. So we're at our Unity cap. Why are we? Oh, we're still running ridiculously fast. I was going to Unity build it, but then I realized I was on high speed, so it just happened before I could do it anyway. So now that we have a place to go, I was going to say that trucks should start taking this wastewater and putting it into the liquid dump. Oh, but the liquid dump won't accept imports because I have logistics turned off. The other thing that I realized when I was doing the voiceover audio of my second half of the last run, because I'm a Muppet and didn't realize that my audio wasn't recording, is that I don't have planning mode turned on. And now I do. So now, whenever I, whoops, that wasn't what I wanted. Now, whenever I place something, instead of going directly into build mode, now it's grayed out. So nothing will happen until I come in here and either Unity build it or unpause it. That allows us to actually start designing stuff rather than just kind of plopping stuff down and having it built unless we remember to pause it. So let me look at my outputs here. This one's diesel. That's going to be a keep empty. This one is wastewater and is also going to be a keep empty. And that's going to be a fairly high priority for export because we want to keep that diesel production running. And as soon as we get some more construction parts, we'll get those tanks building. Now, I'm wasting Unity on this thing right now, waiting for wood. Why am I not getting wood? This is a question that men have asked throughout the ages. Because I paused the truck. Because it had no fuel. Where's my actual tree harvester? Where did you go, tree harvester? You're all the way over here. Okay, because that makes sense. Sure. All right. Let's, while we're waiting on this, we've got all of these trees here marked for harvesting, but I also want to clear out a spot over here where I started my coal mining. Let's get rid of that real quick because I want to get these out of the way so that, well, basically so that they're not in the way. You know, it's a very deep and complex reason. Right. You have 2 trucks assigned to you. Where is the other one? Up here. Getting fuel. Because everything's out of fuel. Because I ran this right down to the wire. And they are going to continue to chew through fuel. So the other thing we're going to do, and I'm going to crank the speed up here because we're just waiting at this point. Once I carry, where the hell are you? Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Nope. No more taking fuel over here. That's just being stupid. We're not doing that. So anyway, as I was saying, we're just waiting at this point for wood to get back to our construction parts assembly here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign 2 more trucks to the tree harvester because this transit is so long that it needs more trucks to keep up a constant flow of wood. Hopefully, I'm going to set coal as a lower priority for now. We're going to leave that as a 10. And I want my construction parts to be slightly higher. Bump that up to an 8. Because I want them to bring it there first, because I can't do anything until I get some bloody construction parts. Granted, I do need coal to make diesel, so that is still important. But I have some already, and this takes, what, 6 coal per cycle? So I'm good for a few cycles there. So once I get some construction parts, which doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon, please tell me you're carrying wood. Yes, you are. Fantastic. All right, so as soon as I get some construction parts, I'm actually going to build a storage right here. Ish. It's as good a place as any, I guess. And that's going to be wood. We will allow import, and we will also allow export. It looks like I need 1 more cycle on the machine. Fantastic. All right, so now my tree harvesters should bring the wood here because it's closer, and then hopefully another truck will take it from this storage and bring it to the construction parts and the coal maker. That's the plan anyway. Whether or not whether it's actually going to happen, well, we shall see. I think there may be some sort of setting to prioritize the manufacturing machines over the storages. Where are you going? Yeah, see, he's going to the coal maker. And I can't set an import. Well, I mean, that's supposed to set the import level, but I can't tell it to keep full because then trucks won't export from it. All right. I know how to solve this, but it requires more construction parts. Please tell me you are still working and building construction parts. You are. Fantastic. Have some unity. Make me more parts faster. Beat the peasants. Okay, that's enough. Beat the peasants until they produce more widgets. All right, so the way that we solve this is fairly simple. First, we orient storage the right way. And then we unity build it. And we tell it wood, but we tell it to keep this one full. So now, in theory, Once, yeah. So now the trucks are going to drop everything into this one. This one we just leave as is. Because now trucks can pull from this to fill the coal maker. They can pull from this to fill our construction parts assembly. But it tells the trucks loaded with wood from the tree maker to come here, which is what we want. And hopefully we don't starve ourselves of coal in the process, because that seems like the kind of... Oh, I've produced too much diesel now. All right. Well, once we get some more construction parts, we'll build the storage tanks out there, finally, and that will no longer be an issue. So it's just a matter at this point of waiting for... Actually, you know what we should do? I'm going to cancel all of these, unpause it, and we're going to build a tree harvester that we don't have enough construction parts for. I'm a Muppet. I am not making vehicle parts yet. Okay. Well, that's easy to fix. You make me vehicle parts. Or rather, it would be easy to fix if I had construction parts. There's kind of a common theme going on here where I don't have the things. All right, we're going to unpause the labs because we're no longer hurting for diesel, so I don't care if the generator runs at this point. Actually, it would help me if the generator would run at this point because it would burn off some of that diesel. Again, we're still running on super crazy high speed to basically kind of advance the process here. Why are you not... Oh, we're waiting for iron now. Why don't we have iron? Because we don't have any iron scrap. Son of a bitch. Looks like I built too many vehicle parts. Okay. Well. Tell me, village. What can I trade you for iron? I can trade you wood. Have some wood and give me some of your delicious scrap. Are we back on low speed? Come on. Go do the thing. Bring the scrap to the furnace. Do what I pay you for. Not sure what I pay you for, but... Or what I pay you in, I should say, but, you know... Life. I don't crush you like the tiny ant you are and send you back to the vehicle depot to be scrapped. As long as you're useful to me, you get to continue to exist. Am I not gracious? Right, so we are continuing to chop down trees, but again, we're being gated by construction parts because I burned through all the scrap in this comm station building trucks and excavators, which granted was warranted because we were going nowhere without this land bridge. So we did need to do it. Conceivably, we could have done it with fewer trucks and excavators and, you know, saved some of our precious iron scrap. But that ship has sailed. And we're just going to continue in this same vein as long as we need to, trading wood for scrap until I can get some bloody construction parts. Because what we really need to do, basically now, is we need to start getting some iron ore so that we can stop wasting wood on these trades. Everything here is fairly deep below the surface. I've got to go back quite a bit here before I start getting iron ore right at the surface. How many parts does this take? 20. Fantastic. I can build it. How many parts does this take? 80. I'm fucked. But you know what I can do? I can demolish this one. So sorry. You have to die. And yeah, I'm basically at my Unity cap, so we'll just clean that up. Except it looks like the trucks already did. So once those construction parts reappear, we are going to Unity build this. We will allow logistics because I don't have the construction parts to build any storages right now until I get my iron situation squared away. This is apparently just going to be ping-ponging from one crisis to the next for quite some time. But that's all right. All right, so let's slow this back down for a minute here. You release my excavators, and you will take 2 of my excavators and 4 of my trucks. And you shall go forth and get me iron ore once I actually set your area in the correct place and give you some mining designations. Because, you know, that's important. All right, so we need to set some mining designations here. In a likely spot, looks like right around here. So let's go with, let's just take that out for now. Gonna get a lot of dirt and some other crap. We already set the outputs on this, so that's fine. And we do have a dumping area, though we're going to need a much bigger one. So let's expand the dumping area. And we can come up a little bit here too, as long as we're careful around the wastewater output. You can create like an isolated pond here for that just to dump into, which is what we will probably end up doing for now. Go back onto high speed here. Where are my excavators? They're still paused because you're a Muppet. Unpause you. You can stay paused. Actually, no, I'm going to leave you paused because I don't want to pay the maintenance cost. All right, so we are progressing. It's just going to take some time. All right, we have finally struck iron. We are digging out that sweet ferrous goodness from the earth. So once our ore sorter kind of processes it all out, and start getting it over to the blast furnace. And actually, you know what? This would actually be a good time to move said blast furnace. Don't like it when they do this. It's basically wasting resources. So we're going to move said blast furnace right now. And while they clean that up, we will go into design mode. And we will design a patented raving madly smelting array. Or at least a early game smelting array, I should say. Now, we're not going to build all of this at once because A, we don't have the parts for it, and B, we don't need it right now. We will soon, but not quite yet. So the way that, let's not delete that. So I'm going to set both of my iron recipes. I am going to have to allow logistics for now because I don't have the parts to build storage containers. So then we copy from that, use the V hotkey and just apply it to the other one, and it sets all of this the same. So off of our recipes, our highest exhaust producing recipe is 24. 24 times 2 is 48. Smokestack can handle 60. I don't want to waste the construction parts on building 2 smokestacks when I only need 1. So how do we solve this? With pipes. The advent of vertical pipes in this game was a godsend. I remember trying to do stuff like this before we could go straight up and down, and it was a nightmare. So I'm just going to pipe the exhaust over here to this smokestack. They both vent in the same place. Saves me the construction parts of building an additional smokestack. Which, again, not a ton of construction parts, but every little bit helps when you are hurting as badly as we are. I'm going to tie both of the furnaces together onto the same output. And then we go right into our metal casters. Because we now have... And I'm a Muppet yet again. I forgot we need to place the metal casters first. Put those right down the middle. Whoops. Copy. Flip with F. Rotate so that my outputs are all in the same place. And place. Now we can put in the molten channel. And I will put my storage down here. And someday, in the imaginary future, when we have construction materials, we will just belt everything down here, fully automate it. Trucks won't have to do anything with this smelting array at all, except drop off raw materials when I build the storages back here, which actually that's probably a little too close to the ore sorter. So let's move it a little bit. That way I know we've got enough room. All trucks are going to have to do is drop off raw materials, remove the slag, remove the iron. They won't have to shift anything around at all. It's fully automated. So now, because we have a plethora of construction parts, we're going to start building. And I tend to, it's a bad habit, but I tend to Unity build probably way too much. But what can I say? I like my instant gratification. Eventually, this is going to output to a slag storage back here, because I want to put all my material storages back here. But I do have the construction parts to build the storage, but I don't have the parts to build the conveyor belt. So we're just going to hold off on that for now. So now we've got iron here. We should still be making coal over here. Yes, we are. And hopefully, eventually, I do have logistics turned on. Okay. Hopefully, eventually, some trucks will bring some raw materials over here. Get our reward. Oh, look, construction parts, vehicle parts, you know, all those things we need. So let's take that. We're going to get some, again, once we process the iron ore. And in the meantime, actually, what I can do, since I have the parts, is I can build this second oil pump, which, again, I cannot Unity build, because reasons. And that should complete the diesel production quest. Once we finish up all of that, then we will move on to the hoarding quest down at the bottom here. All right, just a second here. Real life is intruding. It's unfortunate, but it happens. Really wish I could Unity build those. It would really speed things up. Right. We can take care of this here. Build a unit storage and assign it to iron. We do need to turn on logistics. We'll just Unity build that. Again, we're right up close to the Unity cap, so there's no reason not to burn it. Are you actually doing anything yet? No, you're still waiting on... What are you waiting on? Okay, there's our delivery of iron. And off we go. Making some iron. It should have enough in there to complete this. I don't know what the next step of this is. I mean, you've probably produce a certain amount of iron or store a certain amount of iron or something like that. No, storing iron's down here. Anyway, whatever. It'll tell us what it is once we get there. We just need another load of iron dropped off here. Actually, we have iron. We need somebody to empty the bloody slag. Nope. Slag is on my list of things that can be dumped. They're just being slackers. Don't want to do it. Let's turn the speed up a little bit here. Exports are allowed. Well, our tree harvester just got built, so that's good. However, all right, we got our reward for diesel. Got our reward for stockpiling diesel at the same time. And soon we're going to have to fill the ship with diesel. So typically what I do here is I will build a fluid storage that sits thusly. It just feeds the shipyard directly. And it will also feed my generators. So I kill two birds with one stone. And it will also serve as a fuel point for this general area. No, you don't need to export. You just need to import diesel. Keep it full. And that is going to be... we'll make it a 4. We want that to be a high priority because that's what's feeding our power. Clean this stuff up. We've gotten some research done in the background while we're doing all of this. Okay, I really need somebody to come over here and dump this bloody slag. What is going on here? Let's crank you up to a 4 because everything relies on iron at this stage in the game. What are all these clowns doing? You work for the tree harvester. Where are you going? Oh, they're probably going to go fill that stupid diesel tank that I just set up. All right. Looks like we're going to need more trucks. Because that's the solution to everything. Until we have trains. Is more trucks. Fortunately, we have, well, we had vehicle parts. Looks like we're only going to get Yeah, we're only going to get one more truck because I wasted it all on a tree harvester that doesn't have any trucks assigned. So let's fix that. Where are you? Okay, you're the one that doesn't have any trucks. You have too many trucks now. Now that you have a storage, you have too many trucks. So you can have 2 trucks. He can have 2 trucks. And now everybody's got trucks. Sharing is good. Still nobody is dumping my slag. Guys are starting to annoy me. This is one of the shortcomings to the priority system here, is that if you set everything at a high priority, it makes nothing high priority. But then because my area right now is so big, like this is, I'm running all the way from here. I'm not really doing anything over here anymore. So I'm running all the way from, here to here with these trucks. And it's wasting a lot of time, obviously, but more importantly, it's tying the truck up just in transit. And that is one of the things that makes this map challenging, is because I think I said this last time when we were first setting up. Our limestone deposit is all the way up here. That is a long ass trip with a truck. That's going to take for freaking ever. So we may be trading for concrete for a bit, because I think even our simplified recipe, where the hell is it? Yeah, even the simplified recipe for concrete requires limestone. And like, that's a long drive, man. That's not even the right mountain. That's just a hill. That's the limestone. So we may be trading for concrete for quite a while. Like until we get trains, maybe. Trains are definitely going to be a priority. I'll tell you that for free. When do we get trains? We can go up to here right now. That's what we have slated already. I know we need steel. Where the hell are trains? Am I blind? Trains, right there. Yeah, so we've got to get to the next lab, and then we've got to research steel, CP3, and then we can get trains. So it's not too far ahead. It is going to be, it'll probably be a few episodes before we get there. But it is, CP3 with trading for concrete is going to suck. Especially if I can't get anybody to empty the damn slag out of this furnace. You know what? High priority. Empty the damn slag and do it now. This was working before. Why is it not working now? Shouldn't be that. No, you don't. You need a damn truck to come pick it up. That's what you need. Seriously? Because I had it on definitely yes instead of maybe yes? Oh, that's going to irritate the living shit out of me. That's fucking dumb. Speed this up, see if we can get a truck over. It's got to generate at least 20 before a truck will come pick it up. Maybe that's what the issue. You know what? I never moused over it to see how much slag was actually in there. Better be. Yeah. No, you're dropping off coal. Not helpful. How about you pick up some motherfucking slag while you sit there? Finally. That's fucking dumb. Because I had a ghost transport hooked up. That's fucking dumb. But I still had it set so that trucks can export no matter what, and it still wasn't doing it. That's messed up. That shouldn't happen. All right, anyway, we've now processed iron ore, so we got our reward. Ship. Okay. Let's put the crew on the ship, because that's easy. Load the crew. Explore the first location on the world map. Sure, go there. Go forth and conquer. All right. So we're going to catch up a little bit here. And this is another quest that's going to screw us. Establish a limestone mine. Because, again, we just went over this. That limestone mine that's a long ways away. I'm not sure how we're going to deal with that yet. You know what? Let's zoom out a little bit here. Why is it always foggy when I do this? You know, it would actually make more sense because our copper is all the way up there too. Well, I mean, I guess there's technically copper here, but it would almost make more sense to move the colony up here because then I've got limestone, copper, iron, coal, sand, oil, water, sand again. It would almost make more sense to move the colony up here. Then continue this nonsense down here. Just because this transit time for limestone is going to kill me. Like, that's just... A, it's going to waste immense amounts of diesel. And B, it's going to slow our progress to a crawl. So I'm not quite sure what to do with that. I mean, I know how to move the colony. That's not terribly difficult. I really wanted to go down here, though. All right. So we get that. What did we get for exploring our location? We got some iron scrap. Well, that would have been helpful 30 minutes ago. Some rubber, some copper, some vehicle parts. All stuff that we need right now, especially given how messed up our distance from resources is. So let's I guess let's accept the constraints that we have brought upon ourselves. Though what if we leave the colony here, but we move the factory up there? Some more loot. Now, what if we got plenty of wood, that's for damn sure. And this area is going to have to be cleared out anyway, because this area is where I actually want to build my big stuff once we get there. But if I build the factory up here, like, there's no reason I can't do that, because nothing the factory is building right now technically has to go to the colony. The only thing the colony needs right now is food. They don't even need water yet. So I could build the factory up here and just move my iron mine up here, or rather establish a second iron mine up here once Yeah, I think that may be the way to go. We'll just build the factory up here. Because I've already said everything down here was temporary. So that's what we'll do. We'll use this iron as a stopgap to basically produce enough stuff to move all of our production facilities up north. I'm going to arbitrarily call that north. I don't think there actually is a north, but since this is the shipyard, I always, I guess, mentally think of as facing south, so that's north. All right, let's continue on because we do have a good amount of construction parts. So let's stop wasting time. Let's build our assembly for vehicle parts. Collect our reward for that. We need another assembly for construction parts, which we'll just do that. And we also need a storage for said construction parts. Now, why am I not storing iron? Because I'm just not producing enough iron? Or am I having the same... I think I'm having the same issue that I was having earlier with the wood, where I might need a second storage. We'll do that, and you'll keep full. Let's turn this back down. They're now full of iron up here, and they're not exporting. Why are we not exporting? Can import, can't import, can export. Okay. All the settings are right. This is going to be something stupid again, isn't it? It's going to be because I have the stupid conveyor belts hooked up. I don't remember that being a thing. I swore it was supposed to go by this setting, not by whether you had a conveyor belt hooked up or not. And yeah, that's why it's not exporting, because there's only 8, and you need 20 for a truck to come get it. So that was probably the same issue we were having with the slag earlier. So there's some kind of weird bug going on there where for some reason the conveyor belt is overriding the logistics setting of the building. Don't know why it does that, but at least now that we know about it, we can deal with it. Because as G.I. Joe says, knowing is half the battle. Let's finally get this last oil pump here built. Build our wastewater tank. Finally starting to look like an actual productive colony here. Build a little bit of a bigger stockpile of coal. You don't need to be here. You can go away now. And so we continue. Eventually, the idea, at least, is that we will build up an iron stockpile here. But that may take some time. Good news is we have plenty of concrete. At least we have cement, so we can fake having limestone for a while, I guess. Because you need the limestone to make the cement, not the actual concrete. As long all of these quests will end up gathering a crap ton of cement, so we might be able to cheat this a little, but we'll see what happens. We are... No, nope, they took the iron away. Damn it, Jim. How am I supposed to succeed at my quest if you keep using my iron for shit? Eventually they'll fill this up and our demand for iron will go down significantly. I could manually limit it now, but given that we're actually going to need construction parts, it doesn't make a lot of sense to do that. I'm just pretty much going to ignore this for the time being. Because, as we established earlier, that's going to require some significant relocation. So, while everything's chugging away down there, let's get started on this up here. So this is all limestone, this entire mountain, basically. It's an absolute butt ton of it. And this is all mixed iron and coal, which I'm not a fan of because it fucks with things. I don't like it when the resources are mixed, but I knew that going into this map. So it is what it is. So if we accept that our factory needs to be up here close to all of this stuff, because we've got copper, iron, coal, limestone. That's enough to build a early game factory. We'll start with assembly ones. I'm just going to plan this in the middle of a field because it's what I do. 2, 3, 4. Start that. CP1. We are going to have to allow logistics until I get construction parts 2 and can build conveyor belts. So I mean, realistically, that kind of is the factory at this point, but we're gonna go a little further than that. We'll plan everything out, and then it'll be ready to go when the time comes. So typically how I build my construction parts factories, that's facing the, actually, these are all facing the wrong way, but that's okay. Turn those real quick and put them back. So for the purposes of automating this at kind of the lowest cost possible, actually I'm going to shift this slightly. I actually want enough space to put 2 storages there. Nope, don't copy, cut. And we have an abundance of potatoes. First world problems, I guess. All right, so now we're going to conveyor belt-ize all of this in my typical manner. I try to avoid using lifts as much as I can. Don't care about blocking that. That's fine. Nope, never mind. I do care about that. That fucks it all up. Don't Stop snapping to things. Don't like it when you do that. I don't know if that's enough room. Yeah, it's one shy, of course. Always is. Fantastic. So now we can start from the bottom because it's easy. Have commodity 1 goes in here. And then we'll turn snapping off. Fuck a duck. Do this every time. Come. Ah, I fucked it up. All right, start over. All you gotta do is miss by 1 square. You're gonna fuck it all up. All right, commodity 2. Sake of argument, we'll say that it's concrete in the middle, and then we'll do steel on top. Level 2. Again, I try to avoid using lifts here if I can, just because it saves on maintenance and power. It's less maintenance and power to just run the conveyor belts than it is to do the lifts. So we'll do wood, keep full. Construction parts, I set at priority 4. Yep, we have succeeded in hoarding. Congratulations. This will be concrete, keep full, again, priority 4. This will be iron, keep full, again, priority 4. And then these will both be construction parts. Except export will be allowed there so that trucks can actually build stuff. There you go. That is a factory for, oh, except for export. This is my typical build for construction parts. What I will do then, still have way too many potatoes. Getting short on time here, so I'm going to finish this up, demonstrate it, and then we will go back, check on stuff real quick, and then we'll call it an episode. So Construction Parts 2 only has 2 commodities. It's got electronics and CP1 to build CP2. And yeah, okay, we're just going to pause at this point because everything's going sideways while we're not paying attention. Electronics, keep full, again, priority 4. We're going to take CP1 from here. Bring it around, and it's just going to feed CP2. But we're going to tell it to maintain 120 CP1 before it outputs. And then electronics. Same thing. I'm just going to come in here. Bring it in on level 1. Hook everything up. And then, unsurprisingly, nope, I don't care about the belt. I can get this in the same spot. Overlaps by 1. That'll do, donkey. These will be CP2. Same setting, so that we maintain a reserve of that part. It won't take every single one and build it up into the next level, which is especially important for 2 and 3 because you build most of your belts out of that. And then this is just going to continue marching forward. I'll do the same thing here, bring it around, build CP3, same thing, bring it around again, build CP4. So this whole thing is just a big, long assembly line. I do the same thing for vehicle parts. I do the same thing for science. It's, for me at least, very simple and streamlined. It makes sense, and it keeps all of my storages in a line, so I can build like a street there. What are my issues going on here? Too many potatoes. Okay. You're full. You're full. Okay, I can fix that. Have some motherfucking potatoes. Potato, keep full. Priority 2 for food. Copy, paste. Unity. Potatoes solved. Right? Looks like we took down all of the trees that I told them to harvest. Not going to worry too much about clearing out over here, because again, we're going to move the factory. So let's just start murderizing trees over here, I guess. Murder, death, kill. Trees are the enemy. All right, so we're going to leave it there. We have built a prototype of our factory. We haven't actually built anything yet. That'll come next episode. We'll get everything set up here. We'll get our mines and everything in place. But for now, this is what we're going to go forward with. And we'll just have our road come down here. Usually use dumping designations to mark roads until I get surfaces in place. So that will be that. Hopefully you've been at least mildly entertained. As always, I have been raving madly. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.